If you were to ask me what movie I hate the most, judging by this title, you'd probably guess Twilight. And you'd be wrong. I hate Twilight, but it's not the one I dislike the most. Maybe you'd be thinking, Interview with the Vampire? That's not it. Maybe Queen of the Damned? Again, not it. Maybe you'd be thinking Blade, and you couldn't be further from the truth. I actually really like Blade. I mean, they're so cheesy, but they're really good. They're not okay, they're not good, but they're funny. Maybe you'd be thinking Vampire Diaries, and you'd also be thinking, that's a TV show. Maybe he's an idiot. Again, you're wrong, because it's a zombie movie that I hate the most. I hate Warm Bodies the most. I cannot stand that movie. It's about some blonde girl that falls in love with this zombie with brown hair, and then he finds redemption at the end. That's the reason I hate vampires. I hate that redemption because the quality being redeemed is not somebody who made a mistake. You are redeeming a cannibal. In any other situation, you'd be like, nah, if you knew a dude, if you knew an old man who was, 100, but he confided in you that he was a cannibal, and he ate like 6 people, 80 years ago, you'd be like, fuck you, I'm out. If you didn't, turn him into the FBI. That's what I hate about the modern take on vampires, because they're all basically the same. Most modern vampires fall into 2 categories. The tragic hero who's like, I'm a vampire, but I don't want to be. Or the other one, which is, I'm a vampire and I'm totally badass and I'm going to kill you now. Now I don't have the greatest knowledge of vampires because I hate them. I have seen some movies, because I'm always willing to give them a chance to do something original. And generally they don't. Ever since, I think, Interview with a Vampire, those are what the categories have fallen into. Either I'm evil, or oh no, woe is me, I'm a vampire. And it's stupid. I hate that. I hate that vampires have become so basically pathetic. They're not scary anymore. They're just assholes who drink blood. And vampires, now more than ever, I feel like actually have the chance of being scary. But they're falling more into the everyday, acceptable tropes of urban fantasy. If we were talking about people that I thought did vampires really well, would be Jim Butcher's Dresden Files. I found the vampires in them to be, well, not original. They were done well. The vampires in there are scary. They are something to be feared. The mafia elements of the Red Court alone are amazing. I think they're done really well. The porn industry side of the White Court also done really, really well, in my opinion. The Black Court vampires are a good callback to what vampires used to be when, they were scary monsters. Now let me get back to Warm Bodies. It's the redemption arc. In Warm Bodies, the redemption arc is a little more interesting than vampires because they become human again. I'm not really sure how that works, but it's what happens. What you don't see in the same tragic, heroic vampires that are, eating cattle and bullshit like that. None of them are trying to cure themselves. In fact, most of the time there is no cure. Which, I don't know, is that supposed to be some bullshit about self-acceptance or some other idiotic thing like that? Because that would be interesting. That would be interesting if there was a vampire who hated being a vampire, but you know, instead of going to high school for 100 years, they're trying to cure themselves. That would be interesting. Because they always make it out to be a curse, but then they don't do anything about it, or they could kill themselves. What if you had a suicidal vampire? That would be awesome, wouldn't it? I mean, a vampire that hates being a vampire and continues to try to off himself, but like fails because he's, I don't know, scared of the pain, so he's trying to like overdose on garlic or something like that. I don't know. But it would be a more interesting thing because what we have now is these vampires that are worthless. They really are. They're just nothing. They're like such a shadow of what they could be and what they once were. Vampires nowadays could be so scary. Back when, like in the medieval ages, when, actually I don't know if it's really the medieval ages, but back before the modern era, vampires were something that lurked outside. They lurked in the darkness. But we live in a society now where so much of our social life takes place after dark. The vampires could really be scary because they're not lurking out there. They're lurking around us. In nightclubs, in bars, in movie theaters, in drive-ins, you know, anywhere after dark. That could be really awesome. But you don't see it. You don't see anything, in my opinion, like original about vampires. Now, let me talk about Twilight for just a few seconds. I hate Twilight. Those are some of the worst vampires ever created. Daywalking vampires, that fucking glitter, so stupid. Just stupid. Not like, oh, no, that is just straight up dumb shit. Dumb fucking shit. Dumb shit. That's stupid. I hate it. I hate daywalking vampires without reason. Blade is like my favorite vampire movie. It's not good. It's not like a good quality film. It's fun to watch with other people and get a laugh out of because the thing's so cheesy. But it's so much better than other stuff. Like Vampire Sun, I think it was what? The second movie that had the vampire sunblock. I think that's way more interesting than like, oh no, he can be on the sun, he just glitters if he does, and everyone will see that. But I digress. I'll leave it up to, well, not leave it up to you, but what do you guys think? What do you guys think about vampires? Especially in like modern literature. Like, am I wrong? Is there a book out there I should read that has an original take on vampires that make them interesting, that make them more than like a pathetic hero or a bad guy? Huh? I don't know.